3, 1, we have liftoff.
What is DDG 34, and it's unlike anything I've ever done in the history of the establishment and the existence of Enthusiast, and I'm pumped about it. Has never been done in the giveaway industry, and we are really excited to pioneer yet another origination to the space as an innovation of how it all works and basically gives you, the customer, a really cool advantage and opportunity. Now, all that aside, let's talk about the freaking beauty of this truck right here. For anybody that does not know, this is a 1995 crew cab, long bed, OBS, F350 XLT trim, which was the top of the trim back in 1995 Ford truck. But it's unlike any other Ford truck in the world because it has a 2006-2007 model year LBZ Duramax in it with a 6-speed Allison transmission. And no, none of that stuff is stock. Of course not. Ladies and gentlemen, would you expect that? But the novelty to this thing is it is the only one in existence and truly the only one of its kind. Now, the truck also comes with $20,000 cash to help offset the price tax value, as we've always done in the past. So this truck right here, I need to tell you guys a little bit of a story. This truck right here actually started its life with me after I found it out of a private collection from an individual that passed away in Charleston, South Carolina. This truck was actually a 2-wheel drive truck that was independent front suspension. It was like the double wishbone suspension, and it was actually a gasser to feet. So this truck started its life as a gasser, and it still has the gasser front bumper. I did that intentionally because the novelty of the creation is cool because it doesn't disguise the fact that the truck looks like it started as a 7.3, which it did not. So this truck I found in a totally stock form, and it only had, I think, just over 100,000 miles on it. I cannot recall, but that didn't even matter to me because the truck's body and chassis were in such unbelievably good condition. This truck was garage kept, and the guy was so meticulous about it that he actually painted the heads of all of the bolts on the chassis silver to make them look new. This truck is in that good of condition. I've not done anything to the body because it doesn't have any rust, it does not have any corrosion, and it does not have any oxidation on it whatsoever. If anything, all I did was I just cleaned up the paint just a little bit to give it that nice original shine. So this is very much your original condition body on the truck, and I wanted to keep it that way because it truly masks the beauty of engineering back in 95. I mean, these trucks just aren't made the same anymore. And that to me is very, very cool, unique, special, and it has a lot of novelty to it. Now, although it's nice and sunny outside, I decided to turn on the custom rock lights that are up under the hood to showcase what is under the hood. And this is, yes, an LBZ Duramax that has been custom fit into the OBS frame rails and body. And I'll be honest, it looks absolutely incredible in there. I mean, look at that view right there. It's probably one of my all-time favorites because you are not looking at a 7.3, you are not looking at a Fummins, you are not looking at a 6.0, you are looking at an LBZ freaking Duramax, man, with so much customization. And truthfully, I could probably make this video all day, but I want to get straight to the point with you guys because there's so much of this build documented on my YouTube channel. But before I do that, I do want to let you guys know that there are 3 things that are still in process and they will be completed by the time this truck is given away. Number 1, the air conditioning needs to be retrofitted from the compressor of the LBZ Duramax to the actual ventilation stack and cooling stack in the OBS Ford. That is on Zach at Precision Vehicle Works' list of to-dos. Number 2, there's not a sway bar on this truck right now. We had to get one custom made for this truck, and it is in the final stages of metal hardening right now. And then it's going to get powder coated to match all that lollipop illusion right there underneath the truck. And number 3 is Zach at Precision Vehicle Works. His information's in the description below. Actually, just today broke the good news to me that he is going to be able to get the gauge cluster fully functional that originates in the OBS Ford to work with the Duramax. I mean, we're talking speedometer, tachometer, we're talking fuel gauge, battery voltage, trans fluid temperature, and everything else under the sun. And that has never been done ever in existence before. Now, that's not where we stopped. We could have stopped there and done a factory integration of the radius arm, but that would have sucked. So I reached out to my good buddy Miles in the neighboring state of Pennsylvania of Ohio, and he actually designed some custom flight fab drop brackets for this truck, which are again lollipop red, and then outfitted us with a full set of 4-link billet radius arms in the front and then full length billet traction bars in the rear, and these things are freaking badass. This truck would not be what it is without those. They have this very square styling to them, and they're very bold, just like the rest of this truck in so many different ways. I mean, look at these angles on this thing. It is too sick. So it's a little unique when you actually lift up one of these trucks, because that technically is a Carly leveling kit, but with all of the retrofitting bracketry from Ride Motorsports, it actually takes this truck up to a 4-inch lift just because of the specifics of the conversion. So this truck sits about 4 inches on lift, and it's rolling around on a set of 24x14 polished concave specialty forged wheels on a 375/40 24 set of Nitto trail grapplers. And again, the whole theme of this thing is bold, square, and sharp. So of course you have very square body lines on the truck, very square sidewall on the wheel, and very square precision hard cut 90-degree angles on all of the suspension up underneath, which looks freaking badass. Now, I almost forgot to tell you guys that right there on the truck is actually a fast dual filter lift pump for fuel filtration and water separation. Obviously, fuel delivery gives great throttle response to the Duramax motor in this truck, and this thing absolutely rips because it has a DSP-5 switch inside that gives you the ability to switch between Tune 1, which is basically a stock tune, all the way up to the spicy Tune 5 that lets that transmission do what it does best. Put the power to the ground without slipping the crap out of that stock Duramax converter. Now you have a chance to own what is quite literally a piece of enthusiast history for yourself with $20,000 in cash, and all you have to do is grab anything on the site to grab your chance to take this freaking thing home. A truly one-of-a-kind truck that just needs a new home.